So it's been a couple years since we last left off on season one. A lot has happened. Congratulations, Brenda, on your little one as well.
Thank you.
Um, what was it like picking up where you left off? Because the show kind of starts with both Madison and Jules just kind of really immersing in what just occurred like a week at that wedding.
Well, I think it picks up kind of in a real time way where that 2 years has elapsed also in the show. So we see a brief moment of all the girls during the pandemic so that we address that, but it's also kind of a fantasy world. So we don't stay there. But we get to see that the girls have all strengthened their bonds and they they kind of are waiting to rejoin life.
Society. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So Joel's journey begins after that nightmare at the wedding, going back into work for the first time. She assumes to be fired, but instead she's promoted. So that kind of jumpstarts Joel's whole arc.
And for Madison, it's the exact opposite. She's like ready to jump back into work, really excited, thinking she's going to get promoted, and instead she gets fired. So on top of a breakup, a pandemic, and being fired, her whole journey is just all about like working herself up. Like she's never been at rock bottom before, and this whole season really takes her on like her own self journey of finding herself, finding what she wants to do, finding her like self-confidence, her self-worth. And I think that's really hard for Madison because she's always been such a go-getter. And I think that's what's so great about this season for all the girls is everyone has their own personal journey that they're all going through that I feel like is all just really relatable. I feel like in some way, shape, or form, we've all been there before.
Right, definitely. Kat, you have this one line at the end of season one where you say, "Don't call me dollface." Honestly, radicalized me. That's my like origin story. Um, and I was just wondering if it was as transformative for you to pick up like that with the Jules and start off on season two.
Yeah. So the doll face name actually came from my real life. And it was a nickname that I had that I kind of always did, never really liked very much. And I never had the balls to say anything about it. So that was kind of a catharsis moment for me. And it kind of perfectly lays that groundwork for Jules. Like she's done that, so she feels kind of strong on herself. But as we see, like, especially with dating and Wes, and then a very cute new boy who actually is great and she really likes, unexpectedly we see that she can't really quite get there yet. Like she feels a little bit strong, but then she gets knocked right back down again. So Jules has a lot of work to do, but don't we all?
And in terms of female relationships that we see on screen, who are some of your favorite in TV history?
Oh my
I
god.
mean, obviously the Golden Girls. Hello.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Was it?
that's
Wait,
it.
wait, fun fact. I said this earlier. I found out that the Golden Girls, they were like, the youngest was 48 and the oldest was like in their late 50s, the same age
What?
as the ladies in the new Sex and the City movie.
City.
That's not okay.
I'm so confused by this fact. Why did they
Yeah,
make them wear the little old lady wigs then?
because apparently 47 or 48 was like,
47 is young as hell. Oh
that's
my
what
god,
I'm
that's so
saying.
funny.
It's like crazy. No, but personally, I don't know. I love the gold. I just love that dynamic. It's just my
Oh my
favorite.
god,
Yeah.
me too.
Definitely. Speaking of age, when we start off this season, we see both Madison and Jules just really coming to terms with almost nearing 30. For you both, was it as traumatic as it was for them to turn 30?
Not for me. I kind of was excited to get out of my 20s for various reasons. I was just ready to leave that behind me. So I was excited to turn 30, and if I'm lucky enough to turn 40, I might be even more excited about
How
that.
dare you?
Um
How
yeah,
dare you?
it's great. We've talked about this, but like it's not fair for society to tell women that like 30 is like that's it. Like your timer's gone off and that's that. It's absolutely not true. So many amazing things happen the older you get. And look at Jane Fonda, for God's sake.
I know.
That
I
woman's like
mean,
just getting started.
no, that I really feel like the 30s was like me just like really just like enjoying life because the 20s were all about mistakes for me as well. But again, like I think what it is just we put so much expectation on where we should be by 30. It's like this marker for us. And so I think that's why like even for me, I had like a lot of anxiety going, "Oh my gosh, I'm about to turn 30." But then I was like, "Wait, what is the big deal?" And truly when I was like able to let that go, I feel like it was like this big sigh of relief of just being like, "Oh my God, like what am I so worried about?" And I feel like once I got to that point, it's like been so nice to not like put that kind of pressure on yourself. And I love being in my 30s. I feel like this is like when life is just like happening.
The season starts about a week after the wedding that we saw in season one and off on. What was it like picking up right where you left off, despite all the madness that occurred over the years?
The girls actually go through the whole pandemic with everybody. And so that wedding happened and then COVID hit like it did for us. And then the girls actually go into what was a year for them as well of a pandemic. And so for all of the girls, they kind of have their own journeys. For my character, Stella, she ends up going off to business school, but then ending up coming back and picking up again where they left off.
Shay, you are a bi icon in TV culture, truly. Can you tell us a bit about the relationship that we're going to see you exploring this season?
Yeah, I think this season Stella really comes into her comfort zone in both, her job and now her relationship with Liv. It's kind of like perfect worlds combining. She gets to work at a bar, which we all know Stella enjoys being at. And she also is in a relationship with Liv, who's an amazing person and also a mother. And so for Stella, I think that may be something new. Believe it or not, she still can have new experiences. And this is maybe one of it where she gets to put on the stepmom, step girlfriend hat. And then, we really do see if she can handle it or not. So for her, it's a new experience, but one that I think that she's really comfortable in.
Definitely. And Esther, you are also just a comedy genius. I love all of your stand-ups. A lot of what you do is obviously done alone. Can you speak a little bit about how the creative process changes when you're joining this group of women and comedy?
It's so much more fun. It's so much more fun collaborating with a group of women my same age. We all are just getting to make each other laugh. I mean, when I think of all the times I sat in scenes with Shay and Kat and Brenda and just laughed and had to hide the laughs. Like, stand-up is so rewarding and it's so much fun, but this collaborative effort, especially too with the writers and our showrunner, like it was a really fun process.
Definitely. And in TV history, who are some of your favorite female relationships?
Lucy and Ethel.
Yes, of course. Golden Girls.
Yeah.
I mean, Sex and the City, just because I grew up watching that. So that for sure.
Definitely.
Babysitter's Club. I could go on.
Yes.
Sweet Valley High.
The show is obviously very centered on female-oriented friendships. What do you both hope that men can take away from this show too?
I mean, I think this show, yes, we have 4 female lead characters, but I also think that the things that we are going through, men also relate to. The pressures of turning 30, I think, isn't just, a female thing. I think that anybody can relate to that pressure. So I think a lot of the different circumstances and the hyper-realism that we focus on in the show is relatable no matter where you are, no matter what gender, no matter, anything. I honestly think that there's just so many relatable aspects to it, and that's what makes it so fun. For any audience.
Yeah, I agree. And I think what man wouldn't want to watch 4 women talk about masturbating? Like
Exactly. They can learn a thing or two watching this show. So I actually think it's good for them to watch.
Definitely. And Esther, we see Izzy navigating this new relationship as well. And a lot of it is rooted in her insecurity and how that kind of just ends up playing out in her own relationship. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I feel like it really showed me a perfect example of what it's like to self-sabotage, because that's exactly what Izzy does in her relationship. And I'm so proud of her that she was able to take the advice of her friends and really come through on the other side of that. And I think that that'll be really inspiring for people to see that just if you're a crazy anxiety spiral mess, you can get better. It's out, there's options.
Is. What was it like picking up where you left off, really? Because it starts off the week after the wedding occurred.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was an interesting challenge because of everything that had happened in the real world and how much time was physically passing between seasons for us to figure out how we wanted to tackle that in the show. And so we did sort of choose to lean in and use the pandemic as a way to catch us up in time closer to when the actual show would be being filmed and being released. It felt like it would have been very crazy to like shoot a season that was set in 2 years in the past. So we have our sort of fun opening that acknowledges where season 1 left off, that quickly then jumps more to present day, and catches up with the girls after a bit of a time jump.
Definitely. That was very accurate to how my pandemic really went
Yeah,
down.
no, exactly. I know it was very reflective of.
It was, we all had PTSD shooting that opening when there was like banana bread and like
Yes.
washing the mail, and Esther was TikTok dancing, and I was just like, oh my God, this feels real right now.
Yeah.
Definitely. And at the start, we kind of see the two girls, Madison and Jules, navigating their approaching their 30th birthday. Jordan, you yourself are not 30 yet.
Not
right?
quite. Getting
Yes.
there, almost.
So was this something that you like, it felt really personal to you to explore and see through the girls?
Yes. I mean, I wrote the first draft of this pilot when I was 22, and now I'm 29. And so I feel like I've really grown up alongside these characters and have sort of gone through my 20s with this fictional group of friends in my head. And, you know, I lose the loop on Art Intimidating Life. Sometimes we're like, something will happen to me, and so I put it in the show. Or something happens in the show and then it ends up happening to one of my friends.
I've seen it.
It's crazy. It's like a little nuts, but
yeah.
I think, you know, I had the benefit of getting to work with Michelle, who it's hard sometimes to write about a time while you're experiencing it, because you have to be able to like zoom out. And so getting to talk about my own experiences with Michelle and like, then have it go
I
through
have turned 30.
her lens, was,
You don't look a day over 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're the same age. We're twins. So again, you know, when I look back on my early 20s, I feel like there was a real sense of impermanence between my friends and I, where, you know, it felt like, oh, I'm just doing this job for now. I'm just dating this person for now. I'm just going to this party for now. Tomorrow's problem. And then as you get older, as you get closer to 30, it starts to feel like, okay, our jobs are turning into careers. The people that we're dating are turning into roommates and life partners and spouses. And it's feeling like an opportunity to check in with ourselves of, am I really happy with what I'm doing? Am I really ready to bring this insecurity that's been following me around my whole life into another decade? Am I really wanting to pursue the things that I'm pursuing? And so just that real moment of checking in with yourself is where we wanted to start the women this season.